Hello and welcome to Fibertown. This is episode 60, everybody. It's a nice round number. It's April 2nd, 2014. Welcome to Fibertown. I am Emily. I am Chain of Fools on Ravelry and Fibertown on Instagram. Fiber with an R-E. Welcome to two folks who introduced themselves on the Ravelry board this week. We have Tatty Teddy, who is from South Africa, and she is a knitter and a spinner. And she's really lucky because she has lots of interesting local wools to work with. That sounds really cool. So welcome. And we also have, T.L. Diemert. I think that's how you pronounce it. I might have gotten that wrong. She is, I forgot to write down her first name. Anyway, she's from Canada. And she's been a very plain knitter for a long time, and she's just branching out into, I guess, not plain knitting, cables, lace, yada, yada, yada. There's a whole world out there. So that's very exciting for her. Okay, today we have a show where we show knitting and spinning and stuff. And we talk about stuff. Stuff. So let's start with the stuff. If you haven't watched last week's podcast and you were entered in the ASPCA giveaway, go check it out because we still need to be contacted by one winner. So, so speaking of prizes and giveaways and knit-alongs, Autism Awareness Month is in April, and I am part of a craft along with the Pen Hook and Needle podcast and Equal Opportunity Crafter. There is a thread open on the Rav group, on Fibertown Rav group, for planning your projects, and I've posted a link to an autism awareness pattern, and that's by Juliana of the Equal Opportunity Crafter. I think it's called Winding Journey, so check that out. Your project should have bright colors. I think, I should know my own rules, right? Well, there's a thread detailing them. It has to have bright colors, 2 or 3, I can't remember. But go ahead and look in the thread with all the rules and see what you're going to knit. I'm going to talk more about my project for that craft along later. But you can enter in all 3 of these podcasts, craft alongs, Pen Hook and Needles, myself, and Equal Opportunity Crafter. But just be aware that the rules are different for each one. For example, in Fibertown, you can enter knitting, crocheting, spinning, or weaving. Pen Hook and Needles ladies are just doing knitting and crocheting, and I'm not sure about the Equal Opportunity Crafter rules, but check it out, and you should be a member of their groups if you want to enter. So, oh my gosh, you guys, the prizes for this, I don't have them all yet, but they're going to be amazing. I'm thinking there are going to be 7 or 8 prizes for my side of things. That doesn't even include Pen Hook and Needles and Equal Opportunity. So hopefully next week I'll have some to show you. There's going to be yarn, there's going to be fiber, there are going to be patterns, there is going to be miscellaneous fibery awesomeness that fits into none of those categories, but you're going to love it. There's going to be bags. So I can't wait to get all the prizes together and show you all. I'm super excited. So start thinking about what you want to craft for the Autism Awareness Craft Along. All right, moving on to finished objects. I have one this week, one little finished object, and it's so orange. It is so orange, y'all. Let me show you the good side. Oh, look at that. It is the sock yarn sweater by Hannah Fettig. This is the 18-month size. And I ran out of yarn before I could finish the sleeves. But you know what? They're pretty long. And baby sleeves always get kind of grubby, especially when they're walking around and putting things in their mouths and they've got a rusk that they're just, chewing on all day and it dribbles down their sleeves. So this is such a great sweater for little ones. You put like a onesie on underneath with long sleeves and they're warm and it keeps but it's very lightweight because it's sock yarn. See, it's just very, very easy to wear, and it's got a wide neck, those gigantor heads that they have. And I think this might have been Pagewood Farms, and it's got these kind of like dirty flecks, for lack of a better word. I don't know if that's where the dye broke. It was a gigantic in the backside here. Look at that. It's just part of the dyeing. So it's mostly orange with bits of dirty orange and little bits of white and peach and yellow too. So this will go to my friend's Bebe, who is due this month sometime. Very exciting. And this is the second sweater I've made this baby, and I'm already planning a Gramps cardigan for him. See, folds up into a nice little package of baby sweater. That's my FO, y'all. Let's talk whips. My lollipop yarn socks. Zero love this week. I've been occupied with other things. I'm going to show you. The first is the Bare Branches. I have a back. This is the Bare Branches by Alana Dacos. I'm knitting it on US size 8s. It's all rolly on the bottom, but look at that tree, the tree of life. La 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 la. It's lovely, right? It's going to be so long. It's going to be awesome to wear. If it's cold this year at Maryland Sheep and Wool, I'm totally wearing this. One of the days. I get to plan 2 Maryland Sheep and Wool outfits this year. Okay. It's probably going to be hot. It's always somewhat hot. You got enough of looking at that? It's easy to do. It's just simple cables. Reverse stockinette on the bodice and stockinette down here. There is a hem. And I think it's going to be amazing. Just amazing. What size is this? The 42, I think. It's supposed to have 2 to 3 inches of positive ease. And, you know, it was real gung-ho, excuse me, to cast on one of the other pieces of this sweater. And I did as soon as I finished this piece. And this is all I have so far. These are my ChiaoGoo interchangeables, red lace interchangeables, US 8. That is 5 millimeters. And yeah, this is one of the fronts. It's Plymouth tweed, which is 100% wool. So tweedy. But I got distracted. I got distracted by design knitting, which is a good thing because I've let it languish for quite a while. So I cannot show you that, but I'm enjoying the design knitting, so that is a good thing. Okay, let's talk about my up and coming because it involves the autism awareness craft along. And what I've decided that I'm going to cast on for this craft along, which by the way goes through the end of May for my podcast. It goes longer for the other ones. It's just I'm ending early so I have time to send out prizes before I leave the country. Doesn't that sound nefarious? I gotta leave the country. Anyway, I'm gonna set up a poll. Joanna Spring, if you're watching this is for you, honey. She loves polls. I'm gonna set up a poll on Ravelry, and I am considering knitting collywobbles out of the following yarns. Now I know this isn't all that bright, but especially not on this cloudy day, but it does have light blues and purples and burgundies, and see, look at that. That's a good representation. This is Into the World Gloucester sock, 2-ply merino nylon. Children of Time. So that is one choice for collywobbles. The second choice for collywobbles, this is the Common Grackle colorway. This is from Enchanted Knoll Farm. Look at that. Look at that. I won this on the Knit One Heart 2 podcast. So considering that one, and that is also a merino nylon blend. And then my third one that I'm considering is Socks That Rock. You know, yeah, Socks That Rock, sorry. and that is the Farmhouse colorway. Now let me just explain that whole bizarre little thing I did. I knit my first Collywobbles out of Socks That Rock. And Socks That Rock is a pretty substantial fingering weight. I think if I were to knit them again out of Socks That Rock, I would decrease the stitch count by 2 or 4 because they just stretched a lot for me and got too baggy. And that stitch pattern that I used should have the opposite effect. It should draw the fabric in and not have it be so stretchy. So if I choose these, I will modify the pattern a bit. But this is gorgeous. I bought this last year at Maryland Sheep and Wool. I got this last year at Maryland Sheep and Wool. Okay, so the last choice is this unknown. I could probably find out what this is. I won this as well on a podcast, the Lemknit Crochet podcast, which is no more. But isn't this pretty? I think this was a yarn from Hawaii. It was sent from Hawaii. So I've got 4 choices. I will post pictures of them and make a poll. Vote for the one you like best, and I will knit it for the Autism Awareness Craft Along. Okay, spinning. Blackwatch Tribbles. Little did I know how these would spin up. Let me just open one up for you. These spin up amazing. These are from Gourmet Stash. Oh, I forgot to bring out the fiber content. So you open it up, this little nest of stuff that's folded in half, and it's full of beauty. But what you don't see is the inside. There's more beauty hiding in there. There is, can we see? Can we see? These fibers with the dark backgrounds, you just can't see them very well. Now that's just all blue-black, but there's greens in there, and there's like a dark charcoaly plum. It's beautiful. There's white stripes. Hopefully it'll show up on the bobbin. I hope. This is by, did I say? Gourmet Stash, Tribbles, Blackwatch Tartan, Game of Thrones reference. Let's see if that'll focus, because the colors look about right there. Come on. Anyway, this is spinning up beautifully. All right, I'm going to give you about 5 more seconds. See if you can focus. It's a joy to spin. I'm going to do this 2-ply and knit a hat for my husband, possibly for Father's Day. Oh, all right. Take my word for it. Go see my Instagram account. I put a picture there. They're beautiful. The other thing I have, and that's on my wheel, obviously. See the bobbin there. The other thing I have spun this week is some, that was on a DPN that just fell out, some Maleficent Poonies, again by Gourmet Stash, and again, dark, so they're hard to see. So I have 2 cops. This one's ready to come off. See the purple in there, and the black, and the green, that evil kind of green. Maleficent. So, that's the spinning. I have one acquisition this week. It's syrupy. This is Meduseld Pure Maple Syrup, and it's amazing. Again, they didn't have a great year for production. It was such a harsh, cold winter, they didn't get the right conditions for excellent sap running. So this is meduseldfarm.com in Delray, West Virginia. Seriously, that's not going to focus either. And I get a lot of awesome wool from Patricia, as well as lamb. And beeswax and maple syrup products. Come on. That's a little better. Meduseldfarm.com. I bought two of these. I think these are 8 or 10 ounces, and they're so worth it. It's not like anything you've ever had if you get real good homemade maple syrup. It's so amazing. So, last thing I want to talk to you guys about, God, this is short, are some new podcasts. And I haven't listened to all of these yet, but I've been made aware of them, and I'm going to go and listen to them. So let me tell you about the ones I have not yet listened to. Actually, there's just one that I haven't listened to. Interlocking Loops by Angela C. And she is on, I believe she's on iTunes. And she looks really interesting. She talks about, amongst other things, amongst all the other crafty things in her description, she talks about life with teenagers, which both interests and terrifies me. I currently have an 11-year-old. So, and I think she talks about cooking as well. So you should go and check her out. I'm going to check her out. One I didn't listen to the whole episode yet, but I'm paused partway through, is Summer Yarns. And, oh, that's not the name of it, sorry. It's Kitchen Stitches by Summer Yarns on Ravelry. And what I've listened to so far, I've really enjoyed. She's got a really nice speaking manner and organization to her podcast, so I'm looking forward to finishing that one. That was Kitchen Stitches by Summer Yarns. Now, the ones I have listened to, I've adored, including Kitchen Stitches. But the ones I've listened to all the way through are Stitch by Stitch, and I've been listening to that for a few months, and I just haven't mentioned it, but I should. If you are a spinner, you need to watch this podcast. It's hosted by In Between Dreams. I think her name is Kim, and I think she's in California, and she's a prolific spinner and spins beautiful yarns and has got a lot of knowledge, and it does a lot of interesting things. So check her out. That's Stitch by Stitch. Let's see. The other one that's brand new to me, I've only listened to one episode, is Fiber Trek, and that's by Swen's Tea. I'll link to all of these in the show notes. I listened to one yesterday as I was making dinner. I watched it. It's a video podcast. So is Stitch by Stitch. Kitchen Stitches and Interlocking Loops are both audio. It's nice to have a mix. So Fiber Trek, I believe her name is Sarah. She lives in Maine. She is a shepherdess. I think she has Icelandic sheep. Is that right, Sarah? She is pursuing this lifelong dream of traveling the world and basically to fibery destinations. It could be a farm. But she talks about lambing on a hill in Scotland. The lambing hill, I guess, if you're not in a barn as a sheep, you lamb on a hill. And spending the night on one of these hills, witnessing all these lambs being born. She's done a lot of cool things, and where is she? She's going to the Orkneys this summer for island sheeping adventures. And I'm hoping to meet her at Maryland Sheep and Wool. She's coming down to that as well. So, yeah, she's got this really interesting concept for her podcast, and she talks a lot about rare breeds and things she's spinning, things she's knitting, so I would definitely check her out as well. That's Fiber Trek. So to recap, we have the video ones are Stitch by Stitch and Fiber Trek. Don't know if Fiber Trek is on iTunes. I watched her on YouTube, but you can check her Rav group. And then the audio ones are Interlocking Loops, and that's with Angela C., and Kitchen Stitches with Summer Yarns. So, I wish I could show you my design knitting. I think it's going well. Possibly this month or the next. So, if you are interested in knitting a shawl as a test knit, and you are a super fast knitter, because I'm looking for super fast test knitters, it won't take that long. It's a DK weight shawl. Give me a holler on Ravelry, and eventually I might have a pattern for you to knit. Okay. I'll just need a few people, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, Alice is nowhere to be found. It's yucky again here today, so she's probably napping on a vent. So until I see you guys next week, I hope you have a fantastic crafting time, and you all take care. Bye-bye. Hi, it's me again. Like a dork, I forgot to tell you two things. First one is that I am wearing my vitamin D. Oh, there it is. And I forgot to tell you who won the March pattern giveaway. Okay, so it was between 2 and 232. The first number you see down there was 175. That was me making a comment. So that didn't count. The second number was 202, and that was you, Tropalia, who is Elizabeth, who knit a beautiful purple boneyard shawl. Beautiful. My favorite color, it was a gorgeous purple. Congratulations, Elizabeth. You can PM me, we'll talk about your prize. You can choose a pattern, and I have some other prizes available that you might like. So that is all. Again, take care, you guys. Bye.